My name's Chris Knox. I'm a barrister, and I've been a barrister for a considerable length of time. I'm deputy head of Trinity Chambers. Trinity Chambers is an independent barristers' chambers with about 70 members, and we operate over a variety of fields and really over the whole of the northeast of England. Well, the law has adapted and changed over the years from the very Dickensian style that you once upon a time saw, and there is a lot of change and adaptation to what is at the moment largely cost-driven pressures. There's been a good deal of defunding at all levels. There's pressure on costs at all levels. There's been a good deal of consolidation within the sector. There have been quite a lot of mergers. There have been some of the smaller firms, indeed some of the larger firms of solicitors have pulled out. There's no doubt that there is a pressure on costs. Practices are required to produce more for less. It's really, I think, pretty universal. I mean, I can only speak from real experience, from the experience of a barrister's chambers, but I do know solicitors, I know what they are doing, and I have an idea of how they're going about it. But generally speaking, there's a good deal of consolidation and change at the moment because necessity has made solicitors' firms and barristers change their approach. And indeed, it's, from the point of view of the consumer, quite an interesting time to be taking on lawyers. How you'd characterise a firm that's done well, I mean, from the outside, you'd see that that was somewhere where people went to go for advice. And there's no doubt that people are discriminating, particularly people who are regularly using lawyers are discriminating pretty carefully about who they go to. They want to get value for money, obviously, but they also go for people who have a proven track record as lawyers. The customer isn't too concerned about how the lawyer's practice is managed, but I think they don't want to see a place that's palatial. They don't want to see lawyers who are obviously making huge amounts of money because they know exactly where it's coming from. So I think that there is going to be a considerable amount of change. There's been a good deal of rebranding by firms of solicitors, making themselves more attractive to the public. And I suppose demystifying has been another thing that they've turning themselves into rather more human organisations. I think the firms that are doing well are adapting and moving along pretty constantly. But there's no doubt that there are firms who have had quite good years and who've quite suddenly fallen on hard times because they've failed to change and to adapt to conditions. They've got used to perhaps rather more than they might otherwise have done, and they haven't changed. They haven't kept an eye on what they need to be doing. They haven't adapted.